So I'm back from my trip to Okinawa. It was a good trip. We got to see. So in this particular shot, there is actually a dude paragliding, parasailing, paraskiing, whatever, being towed behind a motorboat with a big old parachute. Anyway, so lots of stuff to do in Okinawa, and you can see I got some decent weather. So we went to Maeda Beach, and there's this little cave where it fills up with it's all full of water, and there's a chance for people to swim through. It's connected. It's very open, so you don't have to worry about being claustrophobic and stuff like that. And while I was going through and videotaping, some folks came in and had some plans. This is looking out. This is the reverse angle on it, so you can see out to the ocean. And there's the people, and there's the wall. And one of the cool things about it is there's all these neons. I don't know if they're neons. They're not neons. They're blue. They're blue fish. And these folks were kind enough to feed the fish right in front of me for a little while, and so got to see the cool sneakers. Here again is the reverse shot heading up to the front, and the fish come and just feed right out of their hands, and very pretty. The coral's really sharp. That's why everybody's wearing shirts, and so it helps if you accidentally brush against it. That way you don't get cut up. So here's heading out of the little cave the other direction. So it's a little tunnel, actually, is more accurate. Um, it was a very nice. The water's warm, warm, warm. But this is all at Maeda Beach, just around the corner from where we ended up going snorkeling. And you can see a lot of the fish. There's another little section of the cave back that way. Shooting this with my GoPro Hero2 camera. Uh, it's not actually set up very well for underwater, but it's still got some decent pictures. I think I'm going to go ahead and get the dive housing for it, and this will be an extended kind of summary version for boarding in Japan eventually. But this is actually very shallow, maybe 2, 3 feet deep, um, and above water. You can see the bluefish there on the very bottom, and then we pop right over nice and subtly to Maeda Point. This is the parking lot for the snorkeling and diving area at Maeda Point. It's not too bad. It's 100 yen to get in to the parking lot, and then they have shower facilities that you can take a shower afterwards, and a place to eat and stuff like that. They have a very nice stairway that runs down so that you can get into the water pretty easily. Tide was in. This is pretty early in the morning. Well, not terribly early. It's about 8 or 9 o'clock. And the water was actually, what I was told, it was rough that day, but and they, they only wanted you to go in with instructors, but or with a dive school. But my friends had been diving there for a while, so it was okay, and it worked out fine. But this was generally about 2 meters deep the whole time, at least in the shallows where we were. Um, Me being a freshwater swimmer was a little freaked out, but it wasn't too bad. The buoyancy of salt water and having the snorkel, being able to breathe, was made it okay. But the initial getting in the water was very, very scary for me. Um, my buddy got his GoPro out and doing some shooting. So we got a couple of reverse angles. Also doing a little bit of fish feeding some folks. And It was amazing, the colors and variety of the fish. We didn't see anything dangerous that day, but from what I understand, it is possible to see some more of the dangerous sorts of fish that are in the area, and sea snakes and um, blowfish and all sorts of stuff. But for the most part, I don't remember seeing anything that was too dangerous that day. But this was my first time really in tropical water. It was an interesting experience. I'm not a terribly big water person. I like swimming and stuff like that and fooling around, but I mean, in a lot of ways, um, this kind of snorkeling, in my opinion, is it's not hardcore if you've done it for a while, but for me, coming off lakes, uh, very initially very scary, but there's lots of stuff to see. It was very interesting. I liked it, and I'll do it again. But of course, the signs, the entrance say, you know, be careful because there's a couple people die here pretty much every year. So um, it is definitely possible to get lost or freak out if you panic. It's very bad. But with the saltwater buoyancy, it's really nice. Trying to hold the camera above the water so you can see through it and maybe get a little sharper picture, but it didn't really work out the way I thought it might. We were pretty fortunate. We had some very nice weather that day. It was bright and sunny and pretty decent. And the fish are not shy. They're not particularly scared of you at all. Um, but uh, and there's definitely a lot of them. I think that brown one there comes up and or gold comes up for his close up later on. It really is like swimming around in a tropical aquarium. Lots of fish to see. Not too many people out at this point during the day. It wasn't too crowded, but evidently it gets pretty crowded later on. But you can see pretty much everybody swims in a shirt to protect from the coral, so you don't, if you bump up against it, you don't get scratched. And the gloves are really a necessary uh, tool uh, to make sure that if you do have to grab hold of the coral, or grab hold of the rock, you're not going to cut your hands to ribbons um, doing it. As you can see, there's a scuba diver, a couple of scuba divers down through there. It's reasonably shallow up near the shore, and then it drops off quite deep later on, and not too far out. So it's kind of a nice mix of all of the uh, diving stuff. You get the closer shore, shallower water, and then if you go out, if you go out just a little bit, it drops right off. Lots of fish, and they are not afraid to get right up by you if you have something that they want. But the sea was really pretty decent. It was a little wavy on the top, and as long as you didn't stay near the shore where the waves crashed into the rocks, it was fine. Um, and you can see it get fairly deep. He's down probably 10 meters or so. And just, you know, just snorkeling and diving down and using the fins to get there. It's a lot harder to get deep underwater when you're in seawater. Coming from a lake culture, um, you know, freshwater, getting down to the bottom is no problem. Staying up on top is a bit more of an issue. Salt water is completely not the same. It was a good trip. The opportunity to get in the water and actually see stuff and see the fish was it was a lot of fun. I had a good time. And for those of you who are actually know what you're doing as far as snorkeling and stuff goes, I highly recommend it. It's definitely worth the trip. And this is only one spot in Okinawa, all around the main island, and of course on the outlying islands. There's lots of places to snorkel and dive. And eventually, next time I get back down there, hope to do a surfing, get to find a little bit of surfing area and get some surf videos up. And I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but I don't know if I'll be able to surf, but we'll be able to get some video of somebody surfing. So again, that's about 10 or 12 meters down, but very doable. It was a great time, and Okinawa is a very cool place. Lots of stuff to see. This was outside the window where we had lunch. And when the weather's beautiful, it is absolutely gorgeous. It wasn't terribly hot outside. It was warm. And this is back at Maeda Beach. Lots of the starfish. I have an open letter that I'm going to be making for Okinawa about spiders. So that'll be up next. Take a look for it maybe next week. See ya, everybody. Thanks.